All right, I want to go over a really, really important topic, which is really about how to watch your investments. And this boils down to, you know, how emotional do you get with market swings? That really is what this boils down to, and whether you have the capacity to, handle like market swings. If you don't, then I would tell you do your best not to watch, like don't watch anything. Don't watch the news. Don't go into your investments and take a look because you'll freak out and have fear. Now, a way to overcome that is to be consistently pulling up, let's say Yahoo Finance, an app in your phone where you look at a chart and you get used to seeing how the market is swinging up and down. Over time, I got really used to saying, okay, wow, like for this particular index fund, it does go up and it does go down. And there are times when it's doing that, but generally the market goes up. And that's not a guarantee ever. And that's why I'm creating this particular video, because I want to talk about the emotional part of things and what ends up happening for a lot of people when they end up watching their funds or their stocks, is the fear kicks in. They immediately think, I need to do something about this. And there's so many studies that have been done on this. And one of my favorite books that I do recommend that you read is The Five Big Mistakes That Every Investor Makes. And I do have that as a resource in this course. And if you read that book, he talks about how people who decide to try to time the market, or they let the fear get the best of them and they pull out and try to get back in, that they often lose out. And so I want you to know that, I think he even tells a story about a person who died and their investment account continued to grow over time. And the family didn't know about it. They found out many, many years later. And they often find that people who die, they're not trading anymore. They're not worrying about their funds anymore. They tend to do better than people who try to time the market. So just know that, it takes a lot of education to know what you're doing in order to time the market. But really, as a part of this course, something to learn is, to stick to your plan. And so if you know you're going to be investing for a period of time, do your best not to let your fears, come into play. Even when you have income dips for yourself, maybe instead of, rushing off to your funds, you know, go within and figure out for yourself, like become resourceful and look for options, around you so that you get income flowing for yourself rather than being, dependent on these funds that you're building so that they have the time to grow, they have time to compound. Because if you are, allowing these fears to get the best of you, then you're going to end up turning towards these funds that you have available to you and pulling them out. And you may even see the market dip, and then you may think, I need to, pull out. And most of the time, it's so hard for you to know when the market's going to start turning, when it's going to start, returning, and selling at the low, like when things are starting to dip is not even the right way, to be thinking about it. We want to be selling at the high. And so it's getting into the right mindset, learning these things and educating yourself so that you're when you're making your decisions, you shouldn't be in a fear-based place. You should be more in like a calm, educated, assessment type place, where you're coming at it, looking at it, saying, "Oh, okay, this looks like it's peaking now." But for the most part, you don't even need to do that. With this course, what I'm teaching is for you to just stay in and add funds in. Okay, so if you can increase your income, if you do get bonuses, then be adding that money into your investment so that it can compound over time. So I just wanted to talk about this, get real with you guys so that you can, feel out for yourself where you're at with this and make it a goal, for yourself that you start to really shift, how you think about things. Come back to that thought of, I can go look at the chart, I can see where it goes long term, and let that be my reassurance rather than allowing the fear, from the news, especially. I would tell you, do not watch the news. Do not go into even, Yahoo Finance News or MSNBC or any of those because their job is to get you to be worked up, so that you come and look at the news. And so that's what they're trying to do. Their driving force is to get you to come there, and they're using your emotions for their benefit. Okay, so finding a calm place within yourself, making that your goal, sticking to your plan, and watching things from an educated place. Those are your goals, right, to accomplish with this course. All right. Thanks so much for watching this video.